how did you get Jack Canfield on Oprah? How did we get on the Drew Show now? Because, everyone sits there thinking that that's the end all be all. Even if we're going to stay in the lanes of the freeway and not get off at the rest stop, how do we accomplish getting on the Drew Barrymore Show?
So I suggest really figuring out who everyone is, what you offer, and really watch the show, follow their social media, start to really learn how they think, how they talk, how they write. And there are so many producers there, and they all have different beats, so to speak. So you have to really kind of know who to pitch and what they're looking for.
Hello, and welcome back to Beyond Common Business Secrets. We have such a treat for you today. I am such a fan of our amazing guest, Erin Saxton. She is an absolute powerhouse. This woman has done more things in media than I even thought was ever possible. I cannot understand how she is so young and has accomplished so much. Erin Saxton, thank you so much for being here. I'm totally geeking out and I'm such a fangirl of yours. Thank you for being here with us.
What an intro. I'm 105. I just moisturize. So thank you.
You are like, when I first heard that you worked with Barbara Walters, I was like, what? How is that possible? Like, you are so young. And I'm like, she's been around, a long, long time.
Yeah. Well, I'm really not that young. I'm 53. And I started working with her I went to East Stroudsburg University, and they offered me these two choices of internships. One was with Howard Stern, but not Howard Stern as we know Howard Stern today, when he was like in Secaucus, New Jersey, like WORT, like a little channel. And he had Snapple girls come out in like crazy tight bikinis, like ring card girls, like boxing rings. And the show was at night, and I'm sure for that age group, and if I was the dude, that would be wildly successful. So Howard's brilliant, right? But I knew that wasn't going to be where I was meant to be. And then the other one was like this really small cable company. And while that I'm sure was excellent, that didn't really fit well either. So lesson number one to like all of my world who are now going into college and my interns, like if something doesn't present itself to you, it's not an either or, it's and then you just have to go find it yourself. So that's what I did. And my family, like I love networking so much, and I was raised to just network. So whenever I give a master class or whatever, I think people think I have ulterior motives, and maybe I do subconsciously, but the biggest bodacious goal for me is just to get to know more people. I'm obsessed with people, but not in a scary way. Like I wish I could just know one thing. So I would please everyone to connect with me. And if I like a post or friend you, it doesn't mean I need something back other than like your energy. Like it's crazy. So I found an internship opportunity through my dad's connection, and it led to an interview at Good Morning America. This is how it all started. Mm-hmm. And I got there, didn't ask a lot of questions. Value point number 2 of this talk, ask questions and ask smart questions. So I got there and there was like jam-packed. I felt like there was like, 8th grade Menudo concert, like, or like Backstreet Boys. Like that shows how old I am. That was my first concert I ever saw, was Menudo, right? Like with Ricky Martin. I didn't even speak Spanish at the time, but I just thought they were so cute. So, I looked at the advisor, and her name was Ruth Ann. And I said, is this all for the internship? And she's like, yeah. And I said, how long is this process? And she said, 6 hours. What? 6 hours? So, and I said, there's a lot of people here. How many openings do you have? And she's like 25. And I just like at the age of, I was 20. or 19. Yeah. At the age I felt menopause just already. I knew what menopause felt like because I had that cold sweat drama go through my body. And I said, 25 spots. So just for fun, how many people are signed up for this process? And she said, 200. Good luck, sweetie. And that, Tracey, is when I became super nice, but very competitive because I was like, oh, I got this. And I did. I got one of the 25 spots.
And you got it. Oh, I love that.
And then while I was there, so all this to say, while I was there, they hired me right out of college after I graduated. And then I decided to go to the want ads within ABC. And there was a want ad for Barwell Productions, which is Barbara Walters' production company. And I interviewed there. And it took 5 interviews. They've interviewed me 5 times for an entry-level position. Like finally at the end, they were going to bring me back again. And they're like, all right, well, we'll think about it. And I finally I didn't have enough suits at the age of, I think I was 20 or 21 at the time. I didn't even have enough nice clothes to go on a 6 interview of that. Back in the day, you had to really dress, right? So I was like, guys, come on. You either know if you like me or not by now. Like I became what we think of millennials. Like I finally was like forecasting what our kids are doing, right? Like I just was like, guys, it's okay. If you're not into me, or if you're still thinking you're going to find something better, then that's awesome. But can we just have this? I wanted to say, can we have a come to Jesus moment right now? And they just started cracking up and they're like, you know what? You're hired. We and that started it all. That started me with Barbara. So I've been with Barbara Walters. She just passed away. It's very sad. And the man that hired me, Bill Getty, he just passed away. And that was unexpected because Bill was young. Barbara, not so much, So
I saw you post that. I think it was last week, and I my heart goes out to you, like mentor. I'm like, that's always,
ripping. Within the same year, I lost both mentors. So it's and it's not about me. I'm not having a pity party, but the world is not a better place without those 2 in it.
It's amazing that you figured out so young to absolutely be yourself. And then it led to you surrounding yourself with people that did so much to impact the world. Right?
Yes.
Like, that's so cool.
I'm glad I did that. I'm glad I wasn't scared. I'm glad I had enough. I lacked in self doubt. I never had self-doubt in my career. Whereas I've wrestled with body image and beauty. Inner, you're fat, you know what I mean? And I've just lost 100 pounds. But that 100 I've gained and lost throughout my life. So it's not like I'm a one-hit wonder on the scale, but I've never not had confidence with my career. I don't know why, Tracey, because the entertainment industry is very fast-paced, very cutthroat. We're a small group of people, and we all kind of, even if I don't know a certain journalist or whatever, I know what they're feeling. I know what they're experiencing. And so when I left The View, because I launched The View, that's a whole at the end of the story. The final show I worked on was The View. And I was one of the original launching producers of that show with Barbara and Bill and a bunch of other people. And when I left there, I started a PR and marketing company, which bridged the gap between the media and the enigma and the gray mystery area of anybody that wanted to be in the media. And I just started a consulting company that bridged the gap between the media and anybody who wanted their person, place, product, or thing in the media. And I've just been going ever since. It's a long time.
So Erin, as somebody that is like the queen of PR, and you definitely, I feel like, take the mystery out of it because you're so real. And I just love that.
Thank you.
What are like the go-to tips that you would have for people? Because I think it still exists today. PR is like such a mystery, and the average person does not know even what it means. So you are the queen of media and PR. So can you like pull the curtain open and give us a look behind Oz?
I love pulling the curtain open. I love opening things. So for me, I'm going to dial it even back. For me, the mystery wasn't exactly what PR was. I was baffled by what marketing was. Because when you talk to somebody in marketing and everybody listening, try this out yourself. You can say, and it's also like, I know we have a lot of coaches out there. Same example. You can say, I'm a coach. What does that mean? Right? You can say, oh, I'm in marketing. What does that mean? So I'm in marketing, but you know what I'm not doing? I'm not doing your automated email responses. I'm not doing pricing of product. I'm not going to market with focus groups. I'm not doing that marketing yet. We just said I'm in marketing. So the first thing that I was confused by was, what was marketing, right? So I came up with this family idea. And to me, the matriarch is marketing. I think of this, like, I'm a mom, I'm a single mom. I've been divorced since my son was 5 years old. His father's great. We're really great co-parents, whatever. We didn't need to be married. Right. So, wonderful man. So I look at it as the mom approach. So mom is the marketer. And then she had 3 kids. The first child, advertising. Firstborn, reliable, predictable. You know what you're going to get when you have advertising. Heck, you pay for it, right? You approve the ad. This is going to be on the bus. This is going to be on the billboard. Very firstborn. So then she still wanted more kids. So she gave birth to her second child, PR. Now, PR is the ultimate older teenager, loves to stir the pot, loves to get other people talking about things. Even if it's bad, she'd rather be in the conversation than not be at all. This runs her elder sister advertising crazy because my firstborn loves to control everything. My second loves to throw caution into the wind. She just wants to be part of the story. Right? Now, other people love when they can get my second born person to talk about them because it then looks more organic. When they ask my first daughter to talk about them, they're like, everyone knows I kind of put advertising up to talking about me. So it's not as genuine, right? So this marketing mom that I'm relating to thought she was done having kids. Started to just put her retirement, kick back. Suddenly she found herself pregnant. Now, ladies, we all know we've been there. She gives birth to social media. What the heck? She didn't think about social media. Now she's got this toddler running around. So now a family vacation is this mom has to actually sit and watch social media swim in the pool. Advertising and PR, they're the lifeguards. They can handle themselves, but social media, you got to watch it. You got to monitor this. You can't leave social media unattended. You're going to get in trouble. Your company will get in trouble. And if you have social media, everyone now assumes you have social media. So if you don't show you have social media, you look like a bad mom.
Yeah, you look like you left your kid at the pool with no.
You look like you left your kid in a hot car at Costco.
Like you're going to be on. Yeah, that's not what you want.
You're going to make news, but for all the wrong reasons, right? So now notice though, I didn't say Tracey media. Media is not one of these kids because the media intersects and interacts with each 3 of the kids.
Okay.
In different ways. So what I try to do with my do's and don'ts and blah, 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 is I just make sure. So now this is answering your question, really get clear on your marketing and the facets of marketing, right? And have that full course plan. Do you need advertising? You might not. But boosting a social media ad is technically advertising, right? So you might have a little it. You might want to do old-fashioned marketing, coupon collectors. And you don't know. I don't know. There's too many businesses out there to say a do and a don't. I think some of those penny clippers are still ingenious, right? PR, and we'll get to PR in a second because that's going to be the heaviest thing. Social media is social media. A lot of people, though, think that if they do a lot of social media or a lot of advertising or they do a drip campaign with marketing or whatever, they think they're covered and they're not. So I really invite everybody as a core practice to not put all your eggs in one basket, it's an all in the family approach. So it's as campy of an example as I can explain it, but no one could ever really give me a good definition of marketing. And so I just kind of made all this up. So for PR, there's tons of do's and don'ts. And when it comes to figuring out who you are, and PR is just the vehicle to get a third party to talk about you. So maybe a better question or conversation is the marketing, but I want everybody to really get super clear as to what their brand is, what their offering is, what they say about themselves, what people are going to say about them in like 30 seconds or less. And a lot of people are really unsure, or they're sure that everybody knows who they are. So one of the things I would love for everyone to do is go ask everybody else, comment on, what is it my business does? What do you think I do? See what they say.
Yeah.
And then look at your marketing, your emails, your websites, your social media platforms, and does what you create fit with what they assume you are? And assuming is a bad thing, but you can only control what you want them to read. You can't, they might still not get it after, but everybody I think could always do a little better with creating their chunk of their molding their clay of their messaging and who they are, especially coaches. There's too many different types of coaches out there, and coaches work in different ways. So I really want everybody to get just clearer, better about defining who they are and who they can help.
Yeah, I love that. As far back as my very first business, I thought, oh, we just do haircuts. And I remember as I fine-tuned that more and more, like I didn't really like cutting kids' hair. In fact, I hated it so much. I wanted to stab my eyes with the scissors. Like that's how bad. So I didn't want to have a deal on doing kids' cuts because I despised it. So I remember saying, can I just specialize in blonding? Because I wanted to eliminate that I would ever be that person. And it's so funny because now I don't do hair anymore. And the only people I still have to cut are my kids. So it's really funny.
Full circle.
So it just like, but when I remember as far back as that, when I got really clear on, I just really want to make you look like a really hot blonde, that because it was innate with what I enjoyed became our marketing strategy, which is so funny.
So it works for you. Did that work for you?
That clear. Yeah. And
Yes.
we were, world renowned, lots of awards. And it started because I knew clearly what I didn't want. So I've kind of taken, I think, that same approach in the coaching world is that I only want to work with people that are high achievers. Like if you're a doer, I'm the coach for you. If you can't get out of bed, there's tons of other people.
Right. Exactly.
Right. So
marketing is there's a dark art to marketing, right? And that's not a bad thing. It's very much like a magician, sleight of hand, right? So he wants you to focus over here, but over here, he's doing the real trick, but he's doing something crazy here. So you don't see him slipping it in. And it's really back here is the magic. It's the tell, but he's doing something so cool here that you don't pay attention to this. And that's what marketing is, right? So you may be able to cut kids' hair, but that was your back here. So you wanted people to do this because you didn't want people to notice this.
Right. Like that was the thing, I can do it, but it just brought me no joy. So I love that you put it that way. I had never thought about it as the dark art. That's a very cool analogy.
Yeah. I find it intriguing, marketing's very manipulative. And anybody who says it's not, look at all the chaos on the videos on the internet of the day after Thanksgiving shopping. There's people stealing TVs and teddy bears out of kids' hands and just, craziness. And that's all because of that crisis marketing of there's not enough shipping containers are not coming in. There's scarcity. I'm sure we would have been fine, right? But that was marketing. That was marketing.
I remember that
people fall for it.
That's interesting that you're saying that the marketing is manipulating, because I think that is the part where a lot of people struggle when it comes to people that are really wanting to bring forth a mission and change the world. Like that's like, that's the piece. So how can with your expertise, like how can someone get comfortable with understanding that, not all manipulation is bad.
It's not. I mean, honestly, when we're parenting, don't we have the best of intentions? We want healthy, super smart, healthy, well-adjusted kids. Do we not think that we're not parenting by manipulation, or we're not gently pushing the trend, or, we don't like one friend because that we get a weird feeling, so we're like encouraging other things? That's manipulation. I mean, I can like put a prettier bow on it, but it's manipulating for the good.
Yeah.
Right there. I wake up every day, Tracey, with the very best of intentions. I do not manipulate for bad. I don't take those clients. So everyone, please get at peace with, because if you don't think you manipulate, we all manipulate. It's just, right. I'm comfortable with the word, and everybody might think it's a taboo word, but I just think that there's grace and beauty with it, because if you manipulate for good, you're going to do good.
Yeah.
You're going to be great and really help people.
I love that, because I think that just owning the fact that if you really want to do good in the world, like you have to get out there, like people have to know what you're doing. Yeah. So we are very blessed to have genius marketers, like, and people that have your skills in the world, because like, I would never see the way that you see things is absolutely amazing for, it's like the sleight of hand, or just even how you just broke that down to the marketing mom and like the 3 kids. I'm like, that will stay in my brain forever. Like,
I'm glad my brain is it's kooky in here.
No, I love it. What do you think then, if somebody is like, okay, I am ready, I get it, Erin, I can market and manipulate for good. What are like some of the first things that they can kind of dip their toes in the pool? Like, where could they go?
And I realize that this answer is going to be tough, because people listening in are going to be at different stages, but I definitely think of the Yellowstone, right? Like branding is so key, right? The Kevin Costner role. And if you look at all the prequels to it, you need to figure out who you are. You need to name it. You need to claim it. Then you brand it, right? So just do all that, right? And just really make sure that you figure out who your competitors are. Look at what they're doing, so you know what not to do or what is working for them, so you can do. And more importantly, so you don't blend in with what they're already doing. Like if they're 10 years ahead of you and you look like you're just reinventing the wheel a little bit, but you're cuter, then you might want to kind of figure out a different way to serpentine. That's cool, right? That's also manipulation, people. That's figuring out, that's resource intel. Then basically, I also think that you then need to legally figure out, are you covered, right? And then you also need to figure out what kind of media you want to do, where your audience will listen to you in that medium. And then you want to figure out, other than the media, there's a lot you need to be doing. Like, I love that everyone wants to talk to me about media. However, media is just a small sliver of what everyone needs for success. Media is a flash in the pan. Media is almost like you're hungry and you're watching your weight, but you have low sugar. And so you need that's the media, right? It's just a little boost. And then you got to go back on your regular routine, right? So you have to figure out, I always say, I want everyone to stay on the highway. And I don't care, like when you're launching something, go in the fast lane, you can go into the middle lane, but I'm from New Jersey. Do not get off at one of these rest stops on the highway, because people make the mistake of like, okay, I launched that book, or okay, I launched this consulting program, or okay, I did this and that, or I'm doing this for my business or this for my clients. And so then they get off on the rest stop and they just go, I get the wanting to rest. Trust me, I get the wanting to rest. But then rest in the slow lane. Go 55. Heck, go 35 and have people give you weird looks when they drive by you. But do not get off of that highway. And then when you're ready, you go again. But you have to continually feed your social media. You have to nurture your clients. You have to keep creating content, because what stops that from happening is when you get off on the rest stop. So if you stay on the highway, even if it's slower, you're still doing it. And then when you're ready, people are still along the drive with you. Then you move to the middle lane. Then you're ready to relaunch a different program. You haven't disappeared into the world. You stayed on the highway. You're still relevant.
You can still like amp up the media piece. So one of the things, like one of the ways I know you is through our dear friend, Patty Aubrey, who is the $1 billion brand builder behind the Chicken Soup for the Soul. Yes. And as a young girl that used to watch Oprah, I would sit there and be like, I want to be on the Oprah show. And I know that you're the mastermind genius behind getting Jack Canfield, the other creator, Patty's partner, and all of this,
yes,
onto Oprah. And now it's like everybody wants to be on, why did I just forget her name? How horrible of me.
Drew Barrymore.
Yeah, thank you, Drew. Like the Drew show. So it's like, okay, how do we get, how did you get Jack Canfield on Oprah? How do we get on the Drew show now? Because, everyone sits there thinking that that's the end all be all. Even if we're going to stay in the lanes of the freeway and not get off at the rest stop, how do we accomplish getting on the Drew Barrymore show?
So I suggest really figuring out who everyone is, what you offer, and really watch the show, follow their social media, start to really learn how they think, how they talk, how they write. And there are so many producers there, and they all have different beats, so to speak. So you have to really kind of know who to pitch and what they're looking for. I love approaching the media when I don't need anything, just to make friends and say, hey, I represent blah, 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 and so many people, but forget that. What are you looking for this season? Right? They're probably back in the office now. So even with the writers' strike and happening, and they lost some time there, but they're ramping up, and they probably book at least 6 months in advance. So that's not to say that they won't do last minute bookings or whatever, but really get to know their language, like Jennifer Hudson or Sherry Shepherd or the Today Show or Good Morning America. It's no different. Wall Street Journal. It's no different. Just people make a mistake of not researching who they're targeting, and they send them a one size fits all pitch. And that's my bread and butter, because my brain, you guys have seen how my brain goes. So I love creating really unique hooks and angles and segments for people. And then I give that to them to pitch. And even if they want to do it themselves, so they don't have to pay me for that. They can just pay me to consult, and I'm pleased as punch to do that. And then really just do the research to see what they're looking for. The worst is not being ready, or not giving them what they're truly needing, or not being ready if you are booked. I saw somebody the other day, and I was so happy that he got the media booking, but he needed media training. He didn't nail it, which I'm not criticizing. I mean, I am, but I'm not, because here's the problem. You don't get many shots to be in the media. So maybe that media outlet was a local West Coast, like middle country thing, like Midwest thing. But so maybe they thought he did fine in the media. But I know that if my team, and we pitch local media as well, but let's just say I needed that clip to get that person and pitch them to Drew, I can't even use that clip. So when you do get the media, please just text me. I'll give you a media trainer name. Awesome person. They're fantastic. So, and it's not crazy expensive, but presidents, popes, politicians, like doctors, everybody gets media trained frequently.
Yeah.
So
always.
Don't ruin it. You get a shot. Do not ruin it, because what you want to do is media placements are like a little bit of bait. Then you get that, then you get a bigger fish with that bait. Then you get a bigger fish with that bait. Then, I've gotten Jack, yes, Today Show, but I've gotten him, Oprah, but I've gotten him the Today Show. I've gotten him like so many places. Everyone loves to talk about Oprah, but I don't know a place we haven't done with Jack, honestly. Like
Yeah.
in all my clients and all my years, I've hit every national and local market. And there is. I think my team over the years, now again, I'm 109. So I've had time to say this, but there's no place we haven't hit, but you need to meet them where they're at, not where we're at. You know, the media is the client at that point.
Now,
The media is more important than the client.
So you have to reach out to the media like you would a client. Like, how can I help you? How can I make your job easier? What brings you value? Like what are they struggling with? If we can answer that problem, we're more likely to let.
Yeah, because they're always searching for good topics and they always have so much work on their plates already that if we could, and this is the reason why I created my company when I left The View, is because back in the day, I was getting a journalist, I think, gets about 53 pitches a day. And 1 out of 4 journalists will even reply. There's crazy stats out there. They're not good. It's not good at all. So, and that's the problem with hiring a big PR firm, actually, because that's their stats they're going up against. So if you do hire a PR person or a PR firm, or even if you do it yourself, everybody on that team that, don't just assume that that person will know what they're doing. Hopefully they will, but, they might not. And I'm not saying if they don't do it like I do it, it's wrong, but being in from the media and knowing that the pressure they're going under, I try to literally give it all to them on a silver plate. Like, here, show is your segment. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's maybe a sample intro, outro. Here's the video I could give. I literally try to pre-produce and give it to you. So then they're just like, oh, thank you. You know what I mean? And then if they say no, and I sometimes get turned down, right? But if they say no, then okay. But it's really researched.
Erin, that's amazing. How can the people that are tuning in, how can they like work with you further? Like, what are you up to these days? Like, I know you have a lot going on, so share what you're up to.
Okay, really? Okay. Yeah, so sure. I have a PR firm. I can do any kind of campaign. I can do planning sessions and the prices are varied or whatever. What I think I'm most excited about these days is a program I'm calling Erin on Demand. And it's on my website, which is theerinnetwork.com. And it's a $500 a month program. I don't want to sell it too hard. We didn't talk about this. Like, I don't know. Natural. I don't know. No, like, I'm not
like felt so natural. I'm like, people want more.
I just feel like
I'll include the links absolutely in the show notes. Well, because it was so natural that I think like people are going to be like,
it's usually not my style, but okay. Like, I mean, listen, I always want great people to work with. So I'm frustrated with the fact. So an average campaign to work with me for pitching the media could be anywhere between like $5,000 and $15,000 a month. And while we're super skilled and we're super great at what we do, and I've got a crazy great team of media snipers, there's still no guarantee. So when I get the people that are solopreneurs or single parents or business people, and they still have their main job and this is their side hustle, I'm not so sure who has an extra $15,000 a month to just toss around. Or who would want to do that with no guarantee? I mean, we might as well play the Mega Millions or invest in Bitcoin and lose our passwords. Like, that's almost equally crazy, right? And yet it's helpful because a third party, the value of PR marketing is so crucial. And I don't know, on the other side, I don't know how everybody who is trying to launch a company is supposed to learn everything that's in somebody like my brain. Because if you then did that, I'm not sure how you would have time to eat, exercise, raise your kids, date, find romance, nurture your marriage, work on your real full-time job that, somebody's actually paying and giving you crazy great benefits for. I am jealous of that. And then So to me, I love helping and consulting. And so I created this program and that's what I'm doing. And it's $500 a month. And you can sign up. You have to sign up for a minimum because I need time to like work with you. It'll be no more than 5 to 10 people in a group. And I'm going to meet with everybody once a week for an hour, and everybody gets time on the hot seat. And this isn't people plussing. It's not a mastermind. No, like it's me giving you advice, rolling up my sleeves, figuring this out. I'll do a pre-call, just one-on-one, and then I'll put people in appropriate groups and we just rock it. And then during the week, I'll be sending everybody love letters of marketing tips and things like that. It's becoming quite popular. So because I guess for a while I appreciate the love and the reputation I have, and I'm grateful, it's made me unapproachable to some people. And if you can tell by my personality, like I'm the one that needs everyone to be friends. I need to be friends with everyone. Like, and I need everyone to kind of like me. You know what I mean? Like, not really.
What's hilarious? That is why I actually love you so much. I am not the best at networking. I never have been. It's not really my jam, but I always find friends that are. And it's so funny. They always find me. And I feel like that's how we met through, like, anyway. So it's just really funny to me because I sit and like, I love that. How did you know to do that? Just even if it's like walking up to a stranger, like one of my best friends, Marcus, we became friends because I would sit there and be like, you're amazing. 100 people walk by and you have 100 new friends. How do you do that?
Yeah.
Like, so I love that. And
That's
I'm
awesome.
so excited for this program and all the amazing things that are going to happen because you're going to be able to work with, multiple people at a time. I think it's going to be awesome.
Thank you. Yeah. And if you call me and or message me or sign up and you mention this show, I'll give you an extra surprise.
Oh, that's awesome. Well, I'm so grateful that you had the time to be with us today and share your brilliance. And I will include everything in the show notes. Erin, thank you so much. Do you want to leave us with any part? Do you have any like final parting, like one little secret that you want to share with us before we go?
Yeah. So watch the credits. Yeah, they don't run them all the time, but slow motion them and you're going to get producers' names there. Do not pitch the executive or coordinating producers. You want a segment producer or associate producer. If you're a book person, try to come up with an angle that doesn't necessarily have to go to the book producer. Try to come up with data-driven pitches. The media loves data. So try to glom on to some leveraging trend or data. And you're always going to want to be able to create excuses to repitch the media. So if there's a survey, if there's a national day, if there's any kind of study that comes out, where can you fit into that? Oh, it's National Leprechaun Day. Oh, I'm Irish. Here's a Celtic company I have. I'm pitching it, right? And have those reactive moments ready to go. So if God forbid something tragic happens, but you're a grief counselor, coach, again, manipulative, but hello, you're helping people. So, sue me, but don't sue me.
You said segment or associate producers are the people to reach out to. I think
so. Yeah. Okay, coordinating producers, executive producers, and senior producers are way too busy. They're the parents of the staff. But production associates, PAs, things like that, they're not going to be your decision makers at all. Your associate producers and your segment producers or just regular producers are going to be the ones that will review it, decide, and then bring it to their seniors to get the final green light.
I did not know any of that. Thank you for giving us the lesson.
You're so welcome.
I appreciate that so much. Love you so much. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
And please, everybody reach out to me. Make friends with me.
I love that, Erin. Yes, I will include all of your social contacts and your website in the show notes. Thank you so much, Erin. We appreciate it.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Take care. Tracy. Bye.